Hey everyone, and welcome back to another World of Warcraft Dragonflight video. In this video, we're going to be taking a first look at the new talent trees for Warlock. In particular, we're going to be looking at the Destruction Warlock in this video, and since this is my first video looking at the Warlock talent trees, we're going to spend quite a bit of time in the classed side of the talent tree as well as the specialization one. Before we get started with this video, please throw a thumbs up or like on the video if you're enjoying the content. Let me know in the comments section below what you think and whether or not you want to see more content from me beyond the alpha. I'm really using your feedback that you're giving in the comments to help me decide whether or not that's something that I will be doing. All right, so we're going to be going through the talent tree and looking at all the different talents and checking out what's available. And while we're doing this, we're going to be working on creating a build that should be pretty good for open world content, questing, leveling, solo stuff in the outdoor zones. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So, we are spec'd into Destruction. Here we go. It looks like we're going to be given Curses of Enfeeblement as our default talent. We'll take a look at that in just a bit. Now, Destruction is traditionally the Warlock specialization that I play the most. I got kind of bored with it at the end of BFA into Shadowlands, and I started playing Demonology a little bit more, so I'm interested to see if they do stuff in here to spice it up for me, make me want to play Destruction again. We're going to get into our spell book here and look at what we're given before we have any talent points put in at all. Now, as we go through this, I'm going to assume you have a basic understanding at least of Warlock and hopefully Destruction Warlock. I'm not going to go through every single spell in detail. I'm mainly going to touch on stuff that needs new or that looks new or stuff that I need a refresher on. So we've got Healthstone, Soul Well, Curse of Exhaustion, so reduce movement speed. That's an alright one. I don't know that we really need that on our bar. We've got our Demonic Circle, we got Drain Life, we got our Eye, Fear, Health Funnel to help our little demon. Ritual of Doom, Ritual of Summoning, we got our Demon Ability. I'm going to throw these over here. We got Soul Stone. We've got Subjugate Demon, Summon Demon. So it looks like, as of right now, we have Summon Imp, Voidwalker, Fell Hunter, and Syad, which is going to be the Succubus or Incubus. We've got our Unending Breath, and we have our Unending Resolve defensive ability. We also, in the Warlock tree, have some passives. So we have Curses of Enfeeblement. So, okay, this is the one that we got from the talent tree by default. This is going to give us the Curse of Tongues, which reduces casting speed by 50% for 15 seconds, and the Curse of Exhaustion, which reduces movement speed. Generally, we're probably going to want to have the casting speed reduction if we want to even bother clicking a button. We have Soul Leech, so single target damage done by you and your minions grants you and your pet shadowy shields that absorb 8% of the damage dealt for 15 seconds, up to 10% of max health. And then also we have the Soul Shards mechanic here. It looks like we are still getting soul fragments to generate shards, and then we'll be consuming those shards in order to cast abilities. Under the Destruction tab, we have Immolate, which is our nice little damage over time ability there. It should generate fragments for us. It does. And then we also have Incinerate, which is going to deal damage and generate fragments for us as well. And then we have our Mastery, Chaotic Energies. Your spells deal increased damage, plus a random amount of additional increased damage. You take reduced damage plus a random amount of reduced damage. All right, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty pumped to look at Warrior, or not Warrior, well, I was pumped to look at Warrior, but to look at Warlock as well. So hopefully this is going to be exciting. Okay, so we're going to go through the tree and we're going to look at the active abilities first, which are going to be the ones in these squares here. Then we're going to look at our choice nodes, which are the ones with these arrows. And then as we go through, we'll look at the true passive nodes, the circle ones here, as we kind of create our build. So let's get into it and check it out. So obviously we have our Curse of Enfeeblement here, which personally I probably just wouldn't even pick if I had the choice, but I don't. So here we are. We've got Fel Domination. So this is the 3-minute cooldown that gives us an instant and free demon summon. So this is handy on the chance that your pet, your demon, dies and you need to summon it really quickly because you're in the middle of combat. So it's not a worthless talent. That doesn't happen very often, usually. So 3-minute cooldown is okay for that. Then we have Burning Rush. So increase your movement speed, but also damages you for a portion of your maximum health. This is a really good movement speed ability because Warlock traditionally does not have a lot of them. And typically you're going to have some sort of shield that absorbs a lot of Burning Rush kind of up front. So I do typically like to take that because you just don't have a lot of ways to increase your movement speed. We have Spell Lock. So this is our Interrupt. 24-second cooldown. I did read about this. So they took Spell Lock off of Fel Hunters. That was kind of their signature ability. And they put it into the talent tree so that it wouldn't feel like you had to always take Fel Hunter over every other pet in situations where you needed an interrupt. I like that. I like that they moved it out onto the tree, and I think, interrupts are always good to have. We've got Amplify Curse, so 30-second cooldown, and it's going to amplify our next Exhaustion, Tongues, or Weakness Curse. Which currently we have 2 of those, and I'm not inclined to use either one of them. I'm not even inclined to waste the global cooldown clicking on them. We have Demonic Circle, utility for us there. We've got Banish, so we can banish a demon, aberration, or elemental. So nothing spicy in terms of active abilities in that section of the tree there. We have Demonic Gateway, so another useful utility. We've got Dark Pact, so sacrifice 20% of your current health to shield you for 250% of the sacrifice health, plus an additional amount for 20 seconds. Very nice defensive cooldown with a 1-minute cooldown, so super usable in questing content. We have Shadow Fury, so 1-minute AoE stun for 3 seconds. Also relatively solid too. We have Soul Burn, so this costs 1 soul shard and will unlock the hidden power of your spells. Okay, so we have Demonic Circle Teleport, increases your movement speed and makes you immune to snares and roots. Demonic Gateway can be cast instantly. Drain Life gives you an absorb shield equal to the amount of healing done for 30 seconds. Health Funnel restores more health and reduces damage taken by your pet. And then Health Stone increases healing of your health stone by 30% and increases your maximum health by 20% for 12 seconds. That's very interesting. Don't know if I want to take it, but it's interesting. Here we have Inquisitor's Gaze, which is not yet implemented. Summons an Inquisitor's Eye that attacks your enemies for an hour. Okay, so just some passive extra damage from a random eyeball. Seems fun. We got Summon Jailer, which is also not yet implemented. Summons a jailer that consumes all tormented souls that you've collected. So I'm assuming we're going to get this from like a passive. Blasting nearby enemies for chaos damage every 1 second for each tormented soul you've consumed. You collect tormented souls from each target you kill and occasionally escaped souls you previously collected. Okay. So as we kill things, we're going to build up tormented souls, and then we could spend them to summon this jailer. All right, we have Decimating Bolt, so 45-second cooldown here. Hurls a bolt that deals damage and increases the damage of your next 3 incinerates. Okay. And this deals more damage as the target's health lowers. And then we have Dimensional Rift. So this is back. Rips a hole in time and space, opening a portal that damages your target. Generates 3 soul shard fragments, has a max of 3 charges. I always like that ability. Okay, so kind of all over the place here. Nothing really stood out to me as something like I absolutely had to have, but plenty of stuff looked like interesting. So let's take a look at our choice nodes. So the first one up here, we have a choice between Howl of Terror, which I really don't like to have fears in questing content, or Mortal Coil. So 45-second cooldown and horrifies the target in fleeing, incapacitating for 3 seconds, and healing you for 20% of your max health. Now this I like a little bit better. There's the incapacitate and also the 20% heal to yourself, which is really nice. Next, we have a choice between Strength of Will. So Unending Resolve reduces damage taken by an additional 15%. So that should be here. So it would be reduced damage taken by 40%. Pretty solid. Or reduce the cooldown of Unending Resolve by 45 seconds. So it goes down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I am not sure which one of those I would rather have, because typically I'm not going to use Unending Resolve all that often. If this was a damage ability, I'd want to reduce the cooldown so I could use it as much as possible. But for a defensive ability, I probably would take the 15% increased damage, because when I do have to hit that button, I want it to do as much for me as possible. Then we have a choice between Ichor of Devils, or Ichor, whatever. Dark Pact sacrifices only 5% of your current health for the same shield. Okay, so it sacrifices 5% of your current health instead of 20, but it gives you the same shield value as 20%. Wow. That's very nice. Or we reduce the cooldown of Dark Pact by 15 seconds. I mean, I think I would definitely take this one. You know? Like, I don't need a 45-second shield. Maybe in PvP or something like that. That would be really nice. But for just questing and stuff, I would rather only have to sacrifice 5% of my health. That seems pretty nice. And then over here we have reduce the cooldown of Shadow Fury by 15 seconds and increase the radius. Or we can get Shadow Flame, which slows enemies in a cone in front of us. No thank you, really, for either one of those. So I'm leaning towards the left side of the tree right now, but I think this is really going to be determined by the passives that we can pick up. So I definitely want to get Burning Rush, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's look at the passives we have on this first gate of the tree here. So we have reduce the cooldown of Fel Domination by, this will be 60 seconds. So I'll take it from a 3-minute cooldown to a 2-minute cooldown, which I'm not super worried about. I don't mind picking up those points, but I don't think we need them. Demon Skin, your Soul Leech absorption now passively recharges at a rate. Okay, this is really good because your Soul Leech, if you remember, your single target damage creates the shields. So this will passively recharge those shields up to a maximum of 12% health. Even when you're not in combat or you're not casting single target abilities. Fel Armor, when Soul Leech absorbs damage, 5% of damage taken is absorbed and spread out over time, I'm assuming, until canceled. And this reduces damage as well. So more defensives, also really nice as well. Reduce the damage dealt by Burning Rush by 25%, and Burning Rush increases your... Wow. Reduce the damage dealt by Burning Rush by 50%. And it increases your speed by an additional 10%. So now it should be down to damages you for 2% of your max health every 1 second. That's super handy. I definitely want to take that. That puts us in the Howl of Terror or Mortal Coil. Let's see. We have Drain Life heals for 15% of the amount drained. That's very nice as well. I think we're going to go Demon Skin. Let's see what we have down here. This is going to get, I think we may have to come back and like remove some points because there's a whole lot in these 2 rows. All right, so here we have increased stamina. That's fine. Filling a soul shard increases haste of your primary pet. Also fine. Filling a soul shard increases the damage done by your primary pet. That's a little better, I think. Increases you and your pet's maximum health. Okay, so here we have reduce the cooldown of Amplify Curse. Drain Life heals for 15% more while below 50% health. Your Health Stone heals you for an additional percent of your max health. Any party or raid member using a Health Stone also heals you for that amount. That's super cool, actually. When you use a Health Stone, gain Leech. When fear ends, the target is slowed. Increase the duration of Banish. Okay. This is going to go into... Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Let's see. I want Drain Life heals for 15% of the amount. Into increase the damage of my pet, I think I'm really not sure. There's a lot of choices, and a lot of them don't suck. And a lot of them are also not like overwhelmingly good so far compared to the others. So I do like this Dark Pact one here. Drain Life now channels faster and restores health faster. Damage done by you or your demon has a chance to grant the other one increased damage. Okay. 20% of all damage you take is taken by your pet. Soul Leech also heals you for 25% and your pet for 50% of the absorption it grants. There's a lot of survivability stuff going on in this tree. All right, your primary pet gains a bonus effect. So your Imp, single magic cast grant the target 4% damage reduction. Your Void Walker reduces the cooldown of Shadow Bulwark by 30 seconds, which is here. Let's see. Fel Hunter reduces the cooldown of Devour Magic. Syad reduces the cooldown of Seduction. Causes the target to walk faster towards the demon. Felguard reduces the cooldown of Pursuit by 5 seconds. Okay. Each time your primary pet or Grimoire of Sacrifice deals damage or damage increased by 1% up to 5%. After reaching 5 stacks, it's reset. Every soul charge you spin has a chance to be refunded. Rain of Fire deals additional damage to enemies affected by Immolate. Chaos Bolt increases the damage of Immolate by 5%. Oh man, there's a lot going on here. Let's see. So, let's grab our Interrupt. Let's increase our stamina. Let's make Drain Life more powerful. We'll get Dark Pact into the bonus. Drain Life channels faster. I think we want to come down here, and I think we'll do it just Demonic Gateway into Strength of Will, into increased damage for our demons. We got one more point that we want to spend. I think we'll grab Fel Domination just to have that. Now here we can go into Soul Burn and pick up Pact of the Eridar and Dimensional Rift, which I think is pretty cool. Over here, we got this Jailer that's not implemented, but I do like the bonus effect here and the Soul Shard refund. We could also go here and it gets some increased like damage we take is taken by our pet, along with the Soul Shard refund and then the Inquisitor's Gaze, which is not yet implemented. And we could also, grab Decimating Bolt. Now, since some of this stuff is not yet implemented, I think for right now we're going to go Soul Burn into Pact of the Eridar, into Dimensional Rift. We've got 2 points left. So we will go... We'll go Teachings in the Black Harvest and a point in the Soul Conduit. I think that's what we'll do for right now on the Warlock side of the tree. There's a bunch of stuff not yet implemented. I think I'd probably take like Inquisitor's Gaze and see how that does. Maybe some other stuff once it's actually implemented. Okay, so let's get into the destruction side of the tree. We're going to do the same thing over here, starting with Chaos Bolt, which we have to take. We do have Conflagrate, so this is our instant cast fire damage that generates 5 Soul Shard fragments for us and has 2 charges. We also have Rain of Fire, our AoE ability. We've got Soul Fire, so this is a 45-second cooldown. It's going to burn the enemy's soul, dealing fire damage and applying Immolate. This generates an entire Soul Shard for us. We've got Channel Demon Fire, which I absolutely love. It looks like maybe the damage... No, it's 15 bolts. So yeah, it's still close to 3,000 damage. That's pretty solid. I like this ability a lot for questing. We have Shadow Burn, so this is going to deal damage and gain increased critical strike chance against targets that have less than 20% health. So kind of like an execute. It's going to restore a Soul Shard and refund a charge if the target dies within 5 seconds of you casting this. So that's really nice. It costs a Soul Shard, and then if you kill the target within 5 seconds, you basically get it back. We've got Summon Infernal, and that's it. So then for choice nodes up here, we have Reverse Entropy. Spells have a chance to grant us haste, which is nice because we do have a lot of spells we cast as Destruction Warlock. Or Chaos Bolt consumes up to 5 seconds of Immolate's damage over time effect on your target, instantly dealing that much damage, which is also nice. Especially for questing, because our Immolate lasts for 18 seconds, and that's entirely too long compared to how long we need to actually kill something. We missed this one here, so we have Mayhem. Your single target spells have a 25% chance to strike a nearby enemy for 60% of normal additional damage. Or we could pick up Havoc, which is a 30-second cooldown that marks a target with Havoc, causing your single target spells to also strike the Havoc victim for 60% of normal initial damage. So basically what we have here is you have to pick the secondary target and cast Havoc, and then go back to your main target to cast on them to get the damage from Havoc to hit the other target. Or you can just put this on and passively have a 25% chance to have your single target spells just hit an additional enemy. So this is the lazy way. This is the more active way. The more active way is guaranteed for everything to hit while you have Havoc on a target. Whereas the passive way is not a guarantee to get that extra multi-target damage, but it's also a constant chance for it to happen, and you don't have to micromanage it. Over here, we've got Roaring Blaze. So Conflagrate is going to increase our Immolate, Incinerate, and Conflagrate damage to the target by 25% for 8 seconds. You could combo that with the ability here to consume Immolate's damage. If you boost it with Conflagrate first, it'll hit harder. We can get an additional charge on Conflagrate, which in my opinion is better. Here we have choices between Pandemonium, Havoc lasts longer, and Mayhem has a additional 10% chance to trigger. Or Cry Havoc, Chaos Bolts duplicated by Mayhem or Havoc explode, dealing X damage to targets within 8 yards. Interesting. Alright, over here we have Rain of Fire. Damage is increased and it has a chance to generate a Soul Shard Fragment. Or we can pick up Cataclysm. 30-second cooldown. Deals a big buttload of damage to all enemies and puts Immolate on all of them. It's a nice way to AoE apply Immolate and just do a bunch of damage. And then down here we have Reign of Chaos. While your initial Infernal is active, every Soul Shard you spend has a chance to summon an additional Infernal. Or every Soul Shard you spend reduces the cooldown of Summon Infernal. So we do have the Summon Infernal thing here. I tend not to go for this when it comes to questing and stuff because it is a 3-minute cooldown. It looks like there's some ways to reduce that. And you definitely can go in and play this way and kind of hyper focus on reducing the cooldown of Summon Infernal. But I tend not to really go that way, so I don't know that we'll go over here. Although I do want to go over here and get Channel Demon Fire. So we'll have to see. That said, this whole section here is a bunch of passives. So again, I don't really know that we're going to know what we end up doing until we get into actually building this out. So let's go ahead and grab Rain of Fire, Conflagrate, Mayhem. Mayhem's not yet implemented, so we'll take the point out for right now, but I think I would put the point into Mayhem, potentially. Let's go Conflagrate, reduces the cast time of your next Incinerate or Chaos Bolt. And then we're going to go into additional charge of Conflagrate. Let's see. For passives here, we have enemies affected by Rain of Fire take increased damage from your fire spells. We have Conflagrate increases your remaining Immolate damage by 15% until Immolate expires or is refreshed. We have Soulfire. That is a huge amount of damage, actually. Increase the duration of Immolate. We don't want to increase the duration of Immolate, really. It's already long enough. So I think I would grab Soulfire. We need to spend 2 more points, and I honestly think I would put them into Mayhem, and I would put them into Internal Combustion. So I want to pick up Channel Demon Fire. Let's look at the passives we have here. Incinerate and Conflagrate cast on targets have 50% less health, reduce the cooldown of Soulfire by 5 seconds. Interesting. I don't know. I'd have to play with it to find out if I wanted that. Each time your spells duplicate to a Havoc target, gain increased damage. So again, we're not going to have a Havoc target. We're going to have the Mayhem target here. So that doesn't really apply. Incinerate now also hits all enemies near your target for a percentage of the damage. So this is the one that makes your Incinerate AoE. Which it is nice to have Incinerate as an AoE ability in general. Because you don't have a lot of ways to just dump down AoE aside from Rain of Fire initially. So that is pretty good to have. When you fill up a Soul Shard, you have a % chance to generate an additional full Soul Shard over 2 seconds. That seems pretty nice. Channel Demon Fire fires an additional 2 bolts. Each bolt increases the remaining duration of Immolate on all targets hit by 0.2 seconds. I don't actually know if we need that. I don't know if we want a point in that. Increase the damage of Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Shadow Burn, and Soul Fire. Okay, so we probably want to get that. We could pick up Shadow Burn for an Execute. Again, like I don't really want to go down to the Summon Infernal side, so I don't know. Let's look at the rest of the passives. Chaos Bolt increases the damage you deal to the targets. Chaos Bolt and Incinerate deal increased damage to targets afflicted by Immolate, which we are going to put Immolate on our target pretty much every time. Grimoire of Sacrifice, so sacrifice your demon pet for power, gaining its command demon ability and causing your spells to sometimes deal additional shadow damage. Not particularly interested in that. It's very nice to have a tank. Incinerate now generates 100% additional soul shard fragments. Every 15 soul shards spent grants Ritual of Ruin, granting your next Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire to consume no soul shards and have its cast time reduced. Summon Infernal reduces the soul shard cost of your next 3 cast of Chaos Bolt. Shadowburn or Rate of Fire. Your Infernal's melee attacks cause its target to take increased damage from Immolation. Consuming soul shards increases your mastery for 10 seconds for each shard spent. Gaining a stack does not refresh the duration. Chaos Bolt increases the damage of Chaos Bolt and reduces the cast time of Chaos Bolt. Rain of Fire increases the damage of Rain of Fire, and Shadowburn increases the damage of Shadowburn. Ritual of Ruin requires 2 less soul shards spent. That goes up to 4. So then it becomes 11. Chaos Bolt and Rain of Fire increase the damage of your next 2 Incinerates by 15%. Alright, and then down on the bottom, Chaos Bolt, Rain of Fire, and Shadow Bolt always gain maximum benefit from your Mastery Chaotic Energies. Or when Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire consumes a charge of Ritual of Ruin, you summon a Blasphemy for 8 seconds. I do not know what that is, but it sounds cool. So let's see. Right now we grabbed Soulfire and we grabbed Channel Demon Fire. These. So we have a big, huge damage dealer that gives us a soul shard, and then we have a pretty big damage dealer as well, assuming we only have 1 target affected by Immolate. Do we need to pick up Shadowburn? It costs a soul shard. I think we want to focus on spending our soul shards on Chaos Bolt and not add an additional. I mean, this can serve as a execute. But we need the soul shard to cast it, so even if we get the refund, we still have to have the soul shard in the first place. And I don't know if we really want to worry about that. I think I'm going to take Pandemonium and turn that into Incinerate, hits all enemies near our target. Incinerate and Conflagrate cast on targets that have 50% or less health, reduce the cooldown of Soulfire. I don't know how many casts we're going to get, but it is by 5 seconds. So I think that's potentially good to let us Soulfire repeatedly. We're not going to be able to do this against the target dummy, but I think that's a point worth taking. All right, increase your critical strike chance, and then physical attacks against you have a chance to make your next Incinerate instant cast. That's okay. The crit chance there is really good. The physical attacks thing, hopefully our tank is doing his job. When your Immolate deals periodic damage to a target above 80% health, gain haste. I think we're going to go either, let's go for crit chance into 10% increased damage to targets afflicted by Immolate. I think we're going to go Raging Demon Fire. Oh, we get 5 additional bolts. Okay, that is pretty good. Let's pull this out. Do we want to put Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Shadowburn, and Soulfire? Well, we didn't pick up Soulfire. Chaos Bolt increases the damage you deal to the target by 5%. So typically we're going to open with a Chaos Bolt. Well, we're going to probably open with Immolate into a Chaos Bolt. So we can get 10% damage on Chaos Bolt and Incinerate. Or we can get 10% increased damage to the target for 7 seconds with all the rest of the abilities we're going to use. I don't know. I think I would have to test this out and see. Alternatively, we can get 20% increased damage on Conflagrate, Channel Demon Fire, Shadowburn, and Soulfire. There's a lot of directions you can go in this tree, and I think like I'm kind of doing more of like a weird build instead of a hyper-focused one, just to try to get like the abilities I want to play with, but so yeah, there's a lot of choices right here, right? So it really just comes down to whatever we want to do here. I think we're going to put the points into additional damage to targets afflicted by Immolate, because we're always going to Chaos Bolt, and then we're going to spam Incinerate for sure. So we'll get the 10% out of that. And then Chaos Bolt increases the damage you deal to the target. I think we'll go for that one, because that's 5% increased damage, and we're not super worried about getting into... Yeah, let's do that for now. Okay, so we're going to pass all this Summon Infernal stuff. Let's see. Incinerate now generates additional soul fragments. So currently it's generating 2 soul shard fragments. So this will make it generate 4. That is really nice. That means it generates 6 on a critical strike, I believe. That'll help us generate soul shards a lot faster, which I think I like. Let's grab that. Let's grab Ritual of Ruin. Chaos Bolt increases that. I don't really like this. Chaos Bolt and Rain of Fire increase the damage over next 2 incinerates by 15% and stacks up to 4 times. I think we're going to do this and just like summon the blasphemy. Okay, so let's get this stuff on our bar and take a look at everything. So we have Soul Burn. That's one I don't know if I mean, we got it, but I don't know if I want it. We'll have to see. All right, and then we got Dimensional Rift. We've got our Fel Domination if we need it. Our Spell Lock, Dark Pact, and then Burning Rush. Doesn't seem too bad. Okay, so let's see. Like I said, we're probably going to open with the Immolate, right? So we can keep our damage over time and our ticking soul shard generation going here. Then we'll go into normally like a Chaos Bolt to spend soul shards that we have. And then we'll want to regenerate those soul shards, which we'll do by casting Incinerate, or, typically we're going to cast Incinerate. We may cast Drain Life if we need to heal, but Drain Life I don't believe is going to generate us any soul shards. We'll double check the talent tree, but I don't think it does. We also have Conflagrates, which will generate soul shard fragments for us. And then we'll loop back around and spin those on Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire. Now we also have our Channel Demon Fire on a 21-second cooldown. The way I like to use this is it's going to launch 20 bolts of Fel Fire over 2.6 seconds at random targets afflicted by your Immolate. Well, if you only have one target with Immolate, every bolt hits that one target. So we're getting almost 5,000 fire damage to the target, plus damage to nearby enemies every 21 seconds. And all we have to do is immolate, channel demon fire. Super good ability there. We've got Dimensional Rift on a 45-second recharge that's going to damage the target and generate soul shard fragments for us. We've got Soulfire on a 45-second cooldown, which is going to do over 5,000 damage to the enemy and apply Immolate. So we can actually open with this if we want to. It's a 3.4-second cast. So obviously, we probably don't want to use this on just the average enemy we're going to kill super fast. But it is there if we need it. So looking through the talent tree here. Let's see, we've got our Soul Leech Absorption, right? It's going to passively regen, and that's what you saw there when I started to cast Burning Rush. You see it's into my shield right now. So I'm generating a shield, and that's basically what was burning there. Or, well, the shield wasn't burning, but the shield was covering the rest of our health. Drain Life is going to heal for 30% of the amount drained. So our Drain Life here is going to deal 972 shadow damage over 3 seconds and heal us for 500% of the damage done, because we have a bunch of points into increasing that. So we have 30% of the amount here. Our stamina is increased. We've got Drain Life healing for 30% more if we're below 50% health, which we won't see here against the target dummy. We've got Drain Life channeling faster and restoring health faster. So 3 seconds. Let's see. We've got our Dark Pact, sacrificing less. We've got our Teachings of the Black Harvest to give our pets a bonus effect. Right now, our Voidwalker is getting a cooldown reduction on Shadow Bulwark. We've got a chance to refund soul shards. It's only 7%, but we got a little bit there. We have Filling a Soul Shard. Increases the damage done by our primary pet. Damage done by either us or our demon has a chance to grant the other increased damage for 15 seconds. And then Chaos Bolt is going to increase the damage of Immolate. Which is what it is. We kind of took the angle here where Immolate is going to increase the damage of Chaos Bolt. So I think we'd rather get the 10% damage on Chaos Bolt from casting Immolate first. All right, so then over here in this side of the tree, we've got Conflagrate reduces the cast time of your next Chaos Bolt by 30%, maximum 2 charges. So Immolate plus a Conflagrate into a Chaos Bolt gives us 30% reduction on the cast time. We could Conflagrate 2 times into Chaos Bolt, but generally speaking, I just like to use the 1 charge. That way you kind of have a charge every time you're casting a Chaos Bolt. Is pretty nice to do there. Then we've got our increased bolts for Demon Fire. We've got our Incinerate and Conflagrate casts. Reduce the cooldown of Soulfire. Increase critical strike chance. Incinerate hits all enemies near our target. Incinerate generates additional soul shard fragments. We've got every 10 shards we spent gives us Ritual of Ruin, which is going to make our next Chaos Bolt consume no shards and have the cast time reduced. Combine that with Conflagrate, and we've got even more cast time reduction. And then we have this weird blasphemy summoning thing as well. So we got a few things to check out here, but generally speaking, we're going to go in and we'll cast our Immolates. We'll cast our Conflagrates into a Chaos Bolt. Right, get some reduced cast time on that, and then we could start spamming our Incinerates. Right, to generate soul shards. We can kind of loop back around. We should still have our Immolates up on the target. If we don't, we can refresh it. And then we do pretty much the same thing we did before. And then loop back around. Now, also generally on each major enemy, once we have our Immolate on the target, we're going to cast Channel Demon Fire. And that is going to do a ton of damage to the enemy, that specific one. So then we also have our Drain Life. So that is healing us for like 1,000 or 2,000 per tick. That's insane. We've got our Dimensional Rift. All right, so that's going to open the rift to attack the target. And then again, we want to consume these shards and see if we can figure out what this blasphemy thing is. So let's see. Is that it? Nope, that's the damage done by Immolate is going to be increased. All right, let's go ahead. Is that the... I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the blasphemy? I'm not seeing it show up in the combat log at all. Yeah, I don't see anything here. We need to spend 11 soul shards. Gotta love all these Lua arrows. I'm feeling pretty good about the damage we're seeing here. That's like 8,500 on a non-crit Chaos Bolt. Let's see how hard this Soulfire hits. $7,800. Throw that into a Channel Demon Fire, into a Combust. Actually, a double Conflagrate into a Chaos Bolt. Into another Chaos Bolt. Into a Dimensional Rift. Oh my goodness, this feels super cool. I'm not even really paying attention to, like, do I have dots up? Oh, there it is. That was it. Oh, I just saw it. That was it, right? That huge thing. So is that consuming soul shards or fragments? Oh, we have to consume 10 soul shards. Okay. So let's see if we can... It doesn't really keep a count for us, I don't think. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so right here, we're at 4. 6. I'm literally just casting random things, you guys. No, let's not do that. That's super cool. All right, so basically every 5 Chaos Bolts we cast. All right, here we go. Ready? This is going to summon it. Oh, I don't even see it this time. I think maybe the graphic is bugged. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Get him. Oh, get him. Man, you guys, I know I'm not doing the rotation right. I'm not paying attention to soul shards, but this is just fun. Oh, man. There's so many, like, cool colors and cool spell effects and stuff. I'm loving this right now. And I'm like, man, this is gonna just rip through things. This is gonna shred stuff in open world content. Like, this is gonna be ridiculous. Oh man, not to mention just like this drain life. Like, oh, look at that 1,000. Oh my gosh. 1,000. Oh man. Yeah, okay. You know, I just want to get this out and try it now. I'm not even kidding with you guys. This was and the fact that there's so many other like alternate builds here, man. Like, honestly, with this, I kind of want to pick up like Shadowburn, right? Because you can spin the soul shard and then restore it if you execute the target, and doing that is gonna cause you to spend soul shards faster. in order to summon the crazy blasphemy or whatever. Like, it just seems pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's a bunch of other ways you could have taken this build too. So this tree to me is pretty exciting, pretty cool. I'm actually looking forward to testing this, which we're going to do with all the specializations. We're going to take them out into a actual questing zone, do some quests, try them out, tweak them, you know, see if we want to change them. So I'm excited to do that. I'm going to be doing those as live streams. So you guys can jump in and comment and make suggestions, maybe point out things that I missed. But yeah, I mean, this is the build I want to play with right now. I already am thinking of some tweaks to it. There's a bunch of other builds we could, you know, go to. So initial pass for Warlock, the class tree is a little weird. I don't hate it or really dislike it. It's just a little odd. There's lots of defense and utility in there, but I think like just for all the stuff you get for drain life, it seems pretty nice. The destruction side of the tree over here is looking pretty fire. No pun intended. So yeah, yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Okay, so leave a like or a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Destruction Warlock and what you think of the series in general. Thanks you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.